Joshua over Wallin, Parker over Wilder, Dubois over Miller, and Bivol over Arthur. Day of Reckoning fight card concluded. Hello, fight fans. Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7 Par Boxing Series and NSChamp7.com back at you again with a recap of the fistic fireworks from the last major fight card of the year. Now I'll start off with the World Cruiserweight Champion, Jai Obay. Folks, this man should definitely be more promoted, heavily promoted, and heavily marketed in the coming year of 2024. A little info. Obay is the IBF and linear cruiserweight world champion, undefeated from Australia, and his skill set, his record as a pro as well as an amateur, is first rate. He won the World Amateur Boxing Championships at 16 and was the youngest fighter to ever make an Australian Olympic boxing team. He's 28 years of age, which incidentally is close to the age of another inspiring boxer looking for greatness, and that's Jake Paul. Both men are cruiserweights. Both men are around 6 foot tall. And I mention this because I believe a matchup of these two would be more doable and intriguing. Now, I'm talking to real boxing fans and real boxing people. Well, I think this fight would be more doable than Paul's recent call-out to Canelo Alvarez, who was 7 years older, almost 20 pounds lighter, 4 inches shorter, and who most fight fans would rather see face more well-deserving guys and champions such as David Benavidez, a.k.a. the Mexican Monster, or Dmitry Bivol. And by the way, I believe Canelo would still, if that fight was to still go down, that Paul wouldn't last. Oh, he probably wouldn't last no more than the first half of the fight. But enough of this digression. Back to the event. Jai Obay in that cruiserweight matchup, it didn't take a full round for him to completely flatten unbeaten European champ Ellis Zoro with a whipping straight left hand. Now, for you students of the sport, you'll have to look at the punch in slow motion to see the quick pivot and turnover from Jai's left foot and his hips to see that that's where the power came from, which is why he now has 19 knockouts and 24 wins, which also highlights my theory on punching power, that it comes from and begins in the legs. Now, in the case of Bivol versus Arthur, or over Arthur, that match was basically what I predicted, although Arthur did show good survivor skills by going the distance. In the match of Dubois over Miller, I was wrong on my prediction with the overestimation of Miller's punching power and his stamina, of which he was sorely in need of. However, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the underdog Dubois silence the critics, reestablish himself as a heavyweight contender, and doing what I described in my preview to win. And that's dig down deep in training camp, because that's where it all begins, folks, in training camp. And that's to overcome physically and mentally any temptation to quit and execute a power-punching game plan to hurt, cut, or stop Miller, which is exactly what he did. He did all three, culminating with the perfect bully beatdown and stoppage in the 12th and final round. Now, in the case of Parker over Wilder, my prediction here was off as well, although Joseph did execute what I stated in my preview concerning his keys to victory, which was good right-hand defense, which he obviously got help from by working with Tyson Fury, and executing an excellent game plan for victory, which pretty much was to hit and not get hit. Wilder's inactivity, which was 1 round in the last 2 years, that certainly didn't help him as well. As for the main event of the evening, I did predict and expect the favorite Anthony Joshua to stop Otto Wallin, although I knew Otto was a spoiler type of a fighter, which is a guy with a skill set to either beat you or make you look bad if he's taken lightly. AJ's focus, or some would call it tunnel vision, and punching power he displayed in training camp, those were the keys, as witnessed by the results, a broken nose and a 4th round stoppage of Otto Wallin. Now, this completed the program. And to reiterate my preview, this event was an excellent showcase for the winners to move on to bigger matchups, bigger paydays, and bigger drama and excitement for us boxing fans for the upcoming year of 2024. So that's my take on this one, folks. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, click the like and notification button and subscribe to NS Champ 7 Power Boxing Series at nschamp7.com. And since this is right before Christmas, I wish all of y'all to have an extremely Merry Christmas and an abundantly prosperous New Year.